Ready to simplify and accelerate your learning development? You can with Easy.
Ooh, hello. I am just getting used to this new setup. Hello. Welcome. I am going to be streaming a little bit for about 45 minutes. I'm going to try to solve today's Advent of Code, day 8 of the Advent of Code. I'm a bit nervous because I had a brief look at it earlier and it looked quite hard. So this could just be super embarrassing as I try to solve an Advent of Code and don't manage it at all. Hopefully that's not what happens over the next sort of 45 minutes or so, but I'll find out. But welcome if you're here, which and it's impromptu, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's just me and the camera, but that's fine. Awesome. So let's get my screen on. That's the wrong screen, Kevin. Let's change it to be the right screen. Ooh. And let's add me onto this. That would be handy, wouldn't it? If I could add myself. No, wrong button. I am, again, trying to get used to a slightly new setup, so bear with. Bear with. Is this a thing? Oh, I am on the screen now. Cool. Well, there I am. Right. So I'll move myself over to there and was here. Okay, so this is day 8. I've managed so far to get full stars on day 1 through 7. You get 1 star for part 1 and then you use the same data set to solve part 2. And after that, then it's fine. In previous years, I've got up to, let me see if I can have a look then. Can I see 2021? So in previous years, last year, it went from top to bottom, and I only did 3 of them last year before I stopped. The year before that, I was a bit all over the place. You can see that. I managed, day 9 day 7 and 8 only have 1 star. There's something for day 12 and 13, but after that, there's nothing. So maybe this year we can manage a little bit better. But day 22, day 8 rather, is about a treetop house. And often they have these little stories. This time they have it's about the elves, and we've got a tree house being built for the elves. We're trying to find a good description for it. So we're given this grid. This is the test input. Normally the way I set this up is normally the way I set this up, I'll show you now. See 2022 is I will have a file for the particular day. Depending on how hard it gets, I'll switch into JavaScript instead of TypeScript just to try to, so I don't have to worry about types, and then maybe I come back and refactor. And I've got a file for the test data and a file for the input data. So let me get set up. So I'll do O8 test, and I'll copy that little grid of numbers over to here, and then I'll do O8. I'll start with JavaScript for now. Normally it's the same thing. We read from the file using read file sync. Would then parse the file and turn it into a string because read file sync returns a buffer. And after that, it depends on what we have to do. So I'll just do console log the data to check that we're getting O8 test data as expected, and it's looking good. Okay. So this is our input. We've got, these numbers are representing the height of trees. We've got trees around the outside of this kind of rectangle. We've got trees in the middle. And the idea is to say which trees are visible from the outside, or how many trees are visible if you just kind of walk around the outside. And so a tree is visible if the number vertically or any number vertically or horizontally is less than it. So this tree actually is not visible, because going up you hit a 5, so that would hide it. Going right you'd hit a 3, so that would hide it. Going left you'd hit a 5, so that would hide it. And going down you'd hit a 5, so that would hide it as well. Whereas this tree is visible, because going up it's blocked by a 7, left is blocked by a 5 and a 6, down is blocked by a 4, but going right there's a tree that's too high, so you're able to see that 3 going on there. I can see I need to parse my data into like a 2x2 array, a multi-dimensional array. So each of the numbers is going to be split horizontally and then vertically. Okay, so I think it's going to look something like this. So if I have a forest array, I'm going to take my data and I'm going to split it on every new line. So now I'm going to have an array of new lines, and for every new line, this is going to be like a row. So for each row, what I want to split that just on the spaces. So row.split, so just, or they're not spaces, just split each character, and then I want to push that into my data. So I think if I console log my forest now, I think I've got a 2x2 array. I've got an array for each of the rows, and that's there. Brilliant. Okay, so I've got an array for each of these. I've got my forest array set up. So I'll just do like set up forest array. Alrighty, so now the visibility. So the actual question is how many trees are visible from the outside of your grid. I know that all the trees around the edge of the grid are visible. And so how do I work out how many trees there are on the edge of the grid? So I know that edge of the grid. So I know this is the this is going to be the length of the forest. So it's like forest.length, and then this is going to be the length of one of those elements. So it's like forest 0.length. So, and I don't want to double count, because if I did forest.length twice, 0.length twice, and forest.length twice, I'm going to count each of these. That would count it twice because of this. That'll be counted twice. That'll be counted twice. So I'm going to do const. Oh, that's going to be a left actually. So total visible. So I know it's definitely going to be 2 lots of forest.length and 2 lots of forest 0.length. And I need to take away 4 to handle those corners. So console log the total visible so far, and that should be, what's that, 5, 10, should be 16. Cool. Okay, so it's 16. We've got our total visible ready to go. So that's our outsides. So now we've got to deal with the inside. So the inside indices rather, are probably going to be like an IJ nested for loop thing going on here. So it's going to start at 1, and it's going to end at forest 0.length -1, and it's going to end in this direction at forest.length -1. So what we call this, height and width. I can't decide if we should call it height and width or not. So for Let actually, I probably want to. I'll just call x and y. So if x starts at 1 and x is less than forest 0.length minus 1 and x increments by 1. And then inside of that, we want to iterate over our y's equals y is 1 and y is less than the forest.length minus 1. Oh, and that wants to be y plus plus, that should be x plus plus, and that should be a curly brace rather than a square bracket. Oops, what are we doing? I think we are a curly brace short. 2 curly braces short. Alrighty. So let's see what I'll do now is if I just console log forest x and y, I'm thinking I should just get 551 533 354. Let's see if that gets to 551 533 554. Cool. Okay, so we've got the dimensions of the forest here. Now if it's visible, if tree visible xy, then we want to increment the total visible. So total visible, we want to increment by 1. Okay, so if the tree is visible, we want to increment by 1. So let's write a function. Tree is visible, and for now we'll just return true, and that would mean all of them are visible, so we'd add 9 on 16, so we should get 25. Okay, but we don't always want to return true. Is the tree visible? So I guess what I want to do, I'm trying to think. So if I am imagining this, if the tree is visible, then we would take the oh, hey. Hey Simon, nice to see you. Let's see if I can manage this. You can. This problem feels a bit like I don't know. A lot of these feel a bit like when I've been teaching maths. Feels like I'm back there sometimes because they get quite mathy, but hopefully it won't be as bad as too mathy or too boring. So I'm trying to imagine this tree being visible. Let's see our data. Our data's here, right? So if this tree is visible, then I only care if it's visible. It's visible if going up, left, right, or down in any direction, I only encounter numbers that are less than it. I only encounter numbers that are less than it. There's some more nuance there, but for now, I'll take that. So I'll let the height of the tree, I'm going to be really naughty and use the fact that my forest is in the global scope. I probably shouldn't do that. But oh well. So I'm going to take the height of the tree of the current tree I'm looking at is the XY value of the current tree. Okay, so that's the height of the tree. Now, there's probably better ways to do this. Do the math so you don't have to. Okay, well, maybe. There's probably better ways to do this. But what I think I want to loop over the x's, loop over and go left to right, go to the left. So what I'll do first of all is I'll just check whether or not there's anything to the left. So how do I do that? I say, so for let, I don't want to reuse x, but I do want to reuse x. Let, I'll just use I because I'm a terrible human being. So start at x. Do I want to start at x? So starting at x would mean I would start on that very position, but I actually want to start at the one to the left of x. So start at x minus 1, so it's me working from where I am to the left. I want to check that x is greater than 0, but I want to count 0. I can't decide if that's going to count or not. I'll put 0, but I think it might be -1 I want to do, and that should be I less than 0, and then I minus minus. So let me console log let me console log forest I y, because we want to keep y at the same height, and then at the end of that I'm going to process.exit because I just want to keep track of what I've got. So the first tree that should go in is 5, and the only thing that should be logged is the number 2. So nope, that didn't work. So I think it's -1. Number 0. Ugh, that's not what I want. Why would that be? Oh, because X and Y are the other way around. This is me actually working up. I'm being an idiot. I've got my, because, multi-dimensional arrays is annoying. Okay, so that's that 0 there. Okay, so I've actually, this is me working vertically upwards. So I want to check if the, if forest, IY, which we now know is X, but I'm an idiot, is less than the height, then return true. Otherwise, return false. So this is any tree that is less going this direction should return true, which means it's visible vertically. Otherwise, it will return false. Ugh, I don't know if this is true or not. Let's see what this gives us. So 16 it was, so 23. So that reckons that there are only 2 trees that aren't visible in the vertical plane. Let's see if that's true. So that won't be visible, that won't be visible, that would not be visible. Great. Oh, I think it should be less than or equal to, because if it's the same height. Okay. Oh, that made it worse. I wonder if it's I knew this was going to be hard. So let's see, am I doing this right or wrong? Yeah, making mistakes in your coding doesn't make you an idiot. I know. Hopefully it makes other people realize that they're more cleverer than me, which is more important. Okay, so what are we saying here? So is it worth me changing X and Y around so I don't get confused? It probably is. So that's Y, Delilah. Actually, I can leave that there. So where's the X and Y? Actually, the X and Y is here. So this is YX. And this is YI. So then, let me just console log forest YI, and then not do this just for now, and exit, process.exit. So this should just be 2, right? Yeah, okay, cool. So let's see what's happening. So with guard tree, this 5 would be visible if it was 2. It would be visible here. This 5 should not be visible because there's a 5 here. This 1 should not be visible because there's 2 5s there. So that should be false, false, false. And then, oh no. What am I saying? Let's see. Visible, because so true, false, and false. So visible, so false, true, true. Let's try to count this. So false, true, true. Then this one should be false, false, false. And then this one should be false, true, false. Okay, right. So if this is true, I want to just console log. Let's just console log those. Console log tree visible and XY. So I reckon this should go false, true, true, false, 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 true, false. Let's see how that goes. There's only one result. Why is that? Only one result. Where's... Ah, because process exit. Twit. Let's try again. So, let's get rid of all the other console logs. Okay, let's see. So true, false, true. Interesting. True, false, true, false, true, true. Oh, are they iterating in a different direction than I'm doing? I bet you they are. Because of the X and Y thing? Oh, I don't know. If I swap over the Y and X here, let me just... Is that any closer? True, true, false, false, false. No. Not any closer at all. Okay. Let me... Right, before we do anything else, let's just get rid of the console log and just see the order these are coming out. So 553. That's vertically. I don't want it to go vertically. So let's swap the other way around. Y, X. So I'm hoping it should say 551. 551, brilliant. And then 533, 533. Okay, so it's going the order I'm expecting it to go in now. Great. And this is the order that I reckoned that would be visible. Interesting. So let's see. I'm saying, so the height is that value. That's the height of the current tree. If so I'm on 5 and I'm visible if this is less than me. Okay, so if the current height, the current tree is less than or equal to this height, then it is visible. No, it's just less than, because yeah, it's just less than. Okay. If I let's just print these out again. Visible. Okay, true, true, false. So true, brilliant. True, everything in here is less than that, so it is visible. I think that should be false. So let's put an or equals to here. It should be now true, false, false. True, true, false. Okay, so what's the crack? What's the crack, Jack? So let's see. So if I do visible with forest, Y, X, just to see what the crack is. So 5 is visible. This 5 is not visible. So Y, it shouldn't be visible. So console log. Console log. This boyo. I should probably debug rather than console log debug. It's probably a better. That's probably better, isn't it? Alrighty. So our height is 5, and we're at XY equals 1. So let's get our data up so we can see it. We can get a better idea of what XY equals 1 means. Come on, tabs, in the right place. Okay, so there's our data here. Now see, height is 5, so that's this one here. XY is 1. Yep, that makes sense. Now my hope is that this is visible. So if I step in, brilliant. I equals 0. Forest of IY should equal 2. And this should print that out. Brill. And so do it again. Okay, so now we're here. Now I would hope, so if I check now, what does I equals 1. So forest of Y oh, I see the problem. I see the problem. I'll see in a second. So what happens is it should compare to this tree first, which is 5, and it should come back as false. So I should, if I step over this, I should end up at the bottom of this if loop. I shouldn't end up in, oh, I do end up inside it. Oh, I do end up inside it. That makes me very sad. Forest yi is 5. Is 5 the bloody string, not the silly number? Is that the problem? Is it that I'm not parsing them as ints anywhere? So push there, split there, and then map. Let's see if this just magically fixes everything. So map, hello, parse int item. Let's just stop this and rerun it. Just check what we're at. So I don't know what I'm printing here anymore. So from here, from 5 should be 2, from 5 should be 5. Intriguing. I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Right. Let's try again. Restart. Right. Okay, here we are. We are in our... actually, what I'll do is const current height. And current height is going to be forest XY. And that'll just make it easier to track what's going on. So let's restart that. Okay, so let's get to our if loop and walk it over. So we should now have our height of 5 and our current height to be 2. 5 and closure or local height should be 5. So 5 compared with 2 is 2 less or equal to 5. It is, so it should be visible. We should be stepping inside here. Yay, okay. Brill. And then that should return true, and we are done. Okay. We want them all to be true to return true. So return true should be the default state up here, and this should be greater than or equal to be false. I think this is my misconception, the thing that's gone wrong. So let's console log visible and see it if it maps console log. Where's my comment? Oh, where's my comment? Boo! I've lost my comment, which had my guesses for what it should be. So true, false, false. True, false, false. That's right. Then it should be false, false, false. False, false, false. Brilliant. And then it should be false, true, false. False, true. Yes. Okay, cool. Oh, right. So what's going on here? So I'm looping over our x's and my x's. I'm saying if anything over here is bigger, then it stops being visible. But everything over there has to be to stop it being so anything over there has to outrank it. I need to do the same thing in all 4 directions now. So something is visible. Right, let's see. I think that's what I need to do. So if I imagine a tree in the middle here, hello tree, who's got like 5. Now, it is visible if something around it lets it in. in one direction, but everything in one direction has to let it in. So if everything in one direction allows it to be visible, then it's visible. So here I'm saying that is everything. So that's visible in one direction. So what am I saying here? So it's visible in one direction. I think what I need to do is actually have a result variable. Assume it's not visible. Put it back the way I had it. It has to be less than here to be true. And then return the result. So I'm hoping, my hope is this won't change what I've got here. It should still be, true, false, true. So less than or, so I've got currently true, true, false. So that one's wrong. I need to fix that in a second. False, 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 that's right. And then it should be false, true, false. Interesting. I've screwed it up again. Right, I don't know what I've done wrong. So I've got, what am I doing here? Right, let's put it back the way it was and we'll try to work it backwards. My concern is I've got it working for one direction. I need to do the same logic for all three directions, for all directions. So I could do tree visible left. And then I could do the same for tree visible right, true visible, and then just change the directions, right? Let's naively work that through. And then we will try. So right should be, we want to start one to the left. We want to make sure it's less than the forest 0.length minus 1, and we want to add 1 each time. We're still comparing on the x-axis. We're there. So I think if, so it's tree visible if, tree visible left, or tree visible right. And then we need to do the same for up and down. There's definitely a bit more efficient ways to do this, but I'm just going to see if I can get this, if I get it working. It's easier to optimize something once you have something to optimize. So up is my theory anyway. Up should be, this time it's y minus, this is down, y plus 1, so start 1 above it, or what it's minus because it's going down. Forest.length minus 1 or plus 1 and minus minus. Oh, I don't know if this is right or not. I'm just going to get something down and then we can fix it. And then it's the same, but it's round. Oh, and this should now be ix. Ix. I'm sure I'm making this more complicated than I need to. Sure, I've done this wrong. This would be. Right, okay, that's one. This should be, so it's working down, it's going all the way up to the top. We're taking 1 away each time. So this should be greater than or equal to -1. And then this should be less than or equal to forest length minus, I don't know if this is anywhere, up. So work your way up and then, yeah. And then, I haven't got down. Oh, I'm so confusing myself. Right, well, this has been a successful stream so far. Hey, I'm going to got another 10 minutes left. So let's say 3 directions. So going from going from left to right, we're starting at x minus 1 and we're going through to -1. Going from right to left, we're starting at x plus 1 and we're going through until we get to the almost the end of the forest. Starting with y, we are starting at y plus 1, y minus 1 because it's above it. This should be, oh, this, why does it say right? That's the problem. I got the word right repeated twice. Okay, let's get rid of that one. So I got right. Now up, I'm starting at y minus 1. I'm taking 1 away each time and I'm checking it's more than -1 and I'm and that's fine. And then down, I'm starting at y plus 1. I'm comparing it with, I want to be less than the forest.length -1. I want to be adding on each time. Right. That is really dodgy code from me, sorry, but it'll do. So it should be visible if it's visible in all 4 directions. So if it's visible in any of the 4 directions, so down yx and up yx. So if it's visible in any 4 of those directions, it should be visible. And the result, there should only be, there should be 5, I think, trues, if this is right. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trues. Brilliant. So we've got 1 false, which is the middle one. And does that look false? Yep, that one is actually false. So that's good. That's good. The 1 false is actually false. That's always reassuring. But we also should have this. So where's the other? Where's another false? So this 1 should be false here. So let's. And when does that happen? That would happen. So if I there, and there. I care about them. So if we have a look at this one, I don't know if I've made this so annoyingly complicated, but oh well. Oh well. Right, so this is who's this? Let's go forward 1 step. This is our tree number 5. So this is this one. So he's definitely true going left to right. This one should be false going left to right, because why is this one true going false? Because its current height should be 5. Comparing 5 with 5 should allow us to return false. Oh, this should set equal to false. This so height equals false here. This is an old version of what I was doing. So height, no. So this should return false because it's not visible. Yeah, I agree. You should return false. So tree visible right. This is 2, 1. This is this one. And that should be true. So should be, yeah, and shouldn't get through here. Brill, should be true. Brill. And then again, our 2, 1, our 3, 1 this time, visible left. This should be false. Yep. Okay, visible right. This should be also be false. Oh no. Oh no. Why is it true? So it should be false. Because x equals 3, y equals 1. So it should be this one. We're visible right. Okay, so there's a problem there. Okay. Right. So what am I going to do going forward? Because this is, so at the moment, I don't think I've got any direction right. So I'm going to focus on getting the left right, or correct. So focus on getting left correct. And so at the moment, is this correct? True, false, 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 false. false, false, no, no. So it should be, let's check. So is it visible? So is 5 visible? Yes, so true. No, no. False, false, false. Then no, no, no. Then no, yes. So this is right. So this is right going left to right. Brill. Okay. Now I will try going right. Oh, I commented those functions. So the left is right. Now we're going to try the right. So trying the right, we get false. All right, that's right. Then true, yes, true, that is correct. Then true, false, true, true, false, true, brilliant. And then there should be false, 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 true, true. Yeah. Okay, so the right is wrong somehow for the last row. Okay, so why is it wrong? Why is it wrong? Let's console log the current height so that we can just check we're getting the right bits again. So that this is going right. So console log or just process dot exit. So I can just see this. So I'm hoping this should be. So this one should be. What? I don't understand what just happened there. Oh, because it returned. I see. Current height was 5. 5 should be compared with. Let's re-debug it. 4 minutes, and then I'm going to stop. Okay, so let's get rid of that breakpoint, and let's go in here. So here we've got our current height is 5. This height is 5. So then this should return false. Brill. Because it's not visible. Great. Next one. Current height is 1. Where's this? This is this one. We're comparing it with. So this should also return false. Doesn't seem like it does that. Right, let's just see what we're getting. And process.exit. So 5, 1. Oh, we also want the last tree. So we also want that last tree. 5, 1, 2. So we're here, we're looking across, we're looking at 5, 1, 2. Great. Okay. So is that the problem? It's the problem that we were leaving out the last tree. 3 minutes to go. Let's see. Oh, get rid of that one. Let's try again. So visible from the right. So this should be false, false, false. False, true, false. Interesting. Okay. Then it should be true, false, false, true, false, true. Brilliant. One wrong there. And then this one should be this one should be false, false, false. Okay, so the last row now works, but the other rows don't. Okay, so can we what can we do? So console log 2 minutes. Console log the current height, and then yeah, let's just do that. Okay, so 5, and then we get false. Brilliant. Next row we're starting here. We get 1 and 2, and we should get true. Great. And now we're starting here. We should get true, 2, and we should get false. Brill. Okay, so this is helpful. This is actually a helpful view. We're starting here. We should get 3, 3, 2, and then true. Brilliant. We're starting here. We should get 3, which is false. Brill. And we're starting here. We should get 2, and then true. That is right. We're starting here. We should get 5 and then false. Brill. We're starting here. We should get 4 and then 9, which should return false. 4, 9, false. Brilliant. And we're starting here. Hold on, that is right. That's right now. Okay. Odd. Odd. So let's see if we do tree or tree visible left and tree visible right. So that should return. What should that return, Kevin? I don't know. I'm just working left and right. So true. True. False. True, true, false. Brilliant. Next row should be true, false, true, true, false, true. And last row should be false, false. No, false, false, no, false. Try again. False, true, false. False, true, false. Okay. Got the X and Y coordinates working somehow. I'm not quite sure how. But the X and Y work. I now will need to go and do the other directions. Okay, so got sort of to the end of the stream. I need to go and I've got a call at 12. I'm going to commit this code. But yeah, today was hard, or I'm just managing not to think about it clearly enough. That's pushed up. I'm keeping a repo of these, so if it's of any interest to you, it's AOC 2022 in my my code. I'll probably keep looking at that. I'll keep trying to get the test data. So normally what I do is I get passing with the test data, then run it with my input data. And the way Advent of Code works is that everyone gets their own input data. So I've got this input data. This is what the forest looks like for me, which it will be different for anyone else who's logged in. So that you can't just steal someone else's answers and stick them in. That's kind of the idea. But yeah, I didn't finish it in the 50 minutes I was hoping to finish it in, but that's okay. I probably will fiddle around with this and we'll tweet out my finished code before the end of the day probably. But yeah, thank you for being here or not being here. Let me know if this was interesting and worth doing again. But that's all for me. Bye.